I'm living my pseudo-retirement lifestyle.
Okay, move this over a little bit.
Hello, everybody. Hopefully you're having a nice, relaxing Sunday.
What's up, everyone? To Easter Sunday. I'm the Kaijino Comment for the Toku Animation News Network. Actually, I should have said I hope you're having an excellent Easter Sunday.
Really excellent?
Yes. It was a yoke.
Oh. And if you see quartz hanging around, it's because I'm charging it on this super cool battery.
So today we are here to talk about the first 7 episodes to Gavan Infinity. Did you check to see if they could hear us?
Didn't you just hear me?
No, I didn't.
Yes, they can hear us. And today's episode, because it's Easter, is brought to you by The Exorcist. Written many, many moons ago, 50 years at this time of printing, to be exact.
I was going to say, that would be...
By William Peter Blatty. It's super awesome. Yeah, there's a little damage. It's a used book, so. But if you don't know The Exorcist, one, it's an awesome book, incredible movie. He's not that much of a fan, but it's one of my favorite movies. Top 3 of the horror penultimate trilogy for me. Along with Poltergeist and Nightmare on Elm Street. If you see a theme for the type of horror I like, there you go. But if you've never read the book, never saw the movie, definitely would say between the two, if you're not overly religious, watch the movie because it was actually directed by an atheist, whereas Blatty is actually very religious.
Okay.
Which is kind of short note because this is more interesting than what we're going to be talking about in a moment here. Blatty helped with the movie, and you had a very religious person who wrote the source material, a very atheist person directing the film, and they still somehow got along to make an incredible film that scared the shit out of people back in the day. But enough talking about other things than the topic du jour. So for anybody joining late,
super space or hyperspace.
I thought it was super.
Well, super technically, but hyperspace if you go by the fan subs we're watching. But Ren is chasing after something.
No, he's staring because he hears the...
No, something just ran past on the other side that he jumped towards and hit the screen.
Sorry. Well, okay. Squirrel.
Space Sheriff, Super Hyper Force Space Sheriff Gavan Go Infinity.
That is a mouthful of unnecessary words. So we have Pesquet Scorpio para Nexus, Kubernete Pirata.
Yo.
And Mobile Lessie all saying hello. The A Games as well. And Kubernete, yes, you are in the southern hemisphere, so it's still summer. Actually, is it still summer or has it turned to fall for you, so to speak? Or is it just still summer weather? We're in Florida, so it's summer weather already.
Mobile SC. And the A Games say hi.
I like that Kubernete is like boring film. Honestly, he hates The Exorcist. Well, you don't hate The Exorcist. Hate it. Well, technically you do. But.
No, I don't. I like the first 2/3. The first 2/3 is it's very atmospheric. It's suspenseful. It keeps you guessing on what's going on. And then The Exorcist happens, and it turns into The exorcism happens, and it turns into a horror comedy. Because it's so over the top.
Oh, yeah. But at least somebody thanked me for the cool information. Thank you, Paranexus. I am part of the Club of Useless Information. because I love knowing random details. Probably you'll never still win on Jeopardy, but why not?
Now I'm just thinking of the Weird Al song, Jeopardy.
Well, he lost them. But with Gavan, the reason why I started this episode with absolutely nothing to do with Gavan is because Gavan...
To infinity and boredom.
So, the last time we were watching a big bulk of episodes, just for awareness, I decided to review resumes because I was watching the episodes because it really doesn't take that much to do both because resumes are mind-numbing as well. But I got more out of the looking at resumes part than I did the episodes. Now, this is not at all to say that there aren't some good things about the episodes, or about the series so far. Maybe we should start with what's good.
Well, I was just going to figure we would go through play-by-play of the episodes since it's only 7 episodes. Not like when we cover Zets, when we have like 25 episodes to cover.
I thought we gave up on Zets. Like we were watching it, but I thought you just gave up on reviewing.
No, I still want to do live streams. It's so hard to coordinate time with Tim Silverquill.
All right.
So first episode, we had already technically reviewed this one way back when it first aired. Did you being that we watched it with newer subtitles that were better translated, did you feel the episode improved at all?
No.
Yeah, I felt like it was the same rushed pacing that it was the first time I watched it.
Well, the challenge is, for me, episode 1 is literally 2 separate episodes in one. Because it felt incredibly rushed because we didn't get an episode where we were just introduced to Gavan Infinity and the people in his world. We were introduced to Gavan Infinity and the people on his Earth, because I love saying it like that, but Earth. And then the second half of the episode is we go to Bushido's world.
Which was a pink-looking Earth, but it turned out the pink was just caused by the nega energy.
See, anytime I hear the term nega energy in the show, all I think is
the old dub, the Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon of the Negaverse. And it's like, I am collecting this energy for Queen Metalia.
But, yeah, the first episode, and then we still have that random sequence when he's seeing his mentor being dead. Like, that just came out of nowhere during one sequence. And then we had Agi's little anime sequence where she's doing the explanation on the multiverse, which I feel those sequences should be saved for the post-credit scene.
Well,
or done during the credits. Like how in Boom Boom Jer, when they'd have the ending theme, and they would stop to do some sort of like driving safely segment. That's how these Agi segments should be.
Well, Agi is
the robot that says
I
that's
know
how
who
it was
she
built.
is. I'm just saying that everybody's using the term Temu now for anything that's cheaper. In all honesty, I've bought things from Temu and they still work perfectly. But I understand where people are coming from. But she is really a Temu version of Izu, Azu, and Wazoo from 01. Now, the one thing that I will say that I have a huge problem with for all of the series so far is that there are too many characters that you don't have an opportunity to really get to know anyone and to feel connected. That's not to say there aren't standout characters, because there are.
There's too many in 7 episodes. We had So episode 1, Infinity, Daiki or Daisuke, Agi, Commander Calm, Wanabuchi,
Mhm.
Patron, who we'll get into in a little bit. We had then Bushido. We had our criminal of the week introduced,
Mhm.
so that's
And his sister.
9 characters in the first episode. Then episode 2, we've got, so that's 9 characters already. Well, okay, let's take away the criminal of the week and the sister because they turned out to be nothing.
Yes.
So that's 7 characters. Next episode, we get introduced to Bushido's boss.
Mhm.
The episode after that, we've got Kiki and Koto. The episode after that, we've got Gavan and his assistant. Then we've got Gavan Death in episode 7. That is 13 characters in 7 episodes.
Did you remember the commander?
Or
Infinity's World?
yeah, I said Calm.
Oh, okay.
But 13 characters in 7 episodes. And that's not even including if the Lupin thief, I'm just calling him Lupin, if the Lupin thief guy returns.
Isn't his name like not Zero?
I don't remember. So he could return. But anyway, so episode 2 introduces us to this really cool criminal of the week named Maro, who has, he makes me think of Eustace Kid because he's got a robotic arm. And he's kind of cool. He's got the grunts that wear masks that are pretty cool. But then he's taken out at the end of the episode like nothing. And it's like, oh, he's not actually a member of Maku. But
well, is there even a Maku?
I don't know. I'm at this point wondering, is Maku just the name of a dimension and not an actual criminal organization? I'm just at a loss for what exactly is going on here with the Maku, because the Maku have not shown up at all. We have these generic monsters. It's the same monster every episode, but with different arms sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so
well, and that I will say is incredibly lazy. I'm not saying they have to go all out on costume design.
But why have the monster at all then?
Well, I was going to say that. And plus, if you want to reuse costumes from prior shows, you have hundreds of Toku shows within Toei alone that you could absolutely borrow from.
All right, so episode 2, we really get introduced to Bushido and find out that he's a robot. He was a survivor of his planet and was given the title of Gavan because every universe is apparently only allowed to have one Gavan. Mm-hmm. So he's also confused as to how Reiji is called Gavan. And we have this scene of just what you call it. Maro brings out the monster, the Maku monster, or what are they called? Imans. That's what they're all. The Imans.
Well, because they're supposed to be like emotions.
Yes. Which the Gachazos, Emor gears are so dumb. And
really Gachazos.
That's what they are. They're Gachazos.
No. They're emo.
They're just a little ass in.
Well, yes.
But so we have. They open up Maku space, and we come to learn that no normal person can go into Maku space, or they'll be torn to shreds. Okay, so they go to Maku space. All it is a CGI background of a shipping dock, of a spaceship dock.
Oh, yeah, no, it's very simplistic.
There's no cool, trippy backgrounds. There's no interesting, just random objects that they're fighting on. Just a spaceship dock. But for some reason, Gavan has to summon Gavarion to infiltrate the ship to blow up a generator to get rid of Maku space. But there's no other things around for there to really be a mech. There's no ships that Gavarion is shooting at, or that are shooting at them. There's no giant monsters, giant soldiers, giant anything. It's just shooting a generator. Hit the generator! Oh my god. From the Godzilla game.
Oh,
Hit the
I was
generator!
like, I have no idea.
I need to write this down right now.
Oh my god.
Hit the generator!
Then we get to episode 3.
Well, so episode 2, and we never actually learned the reason why our criminal of the week from episode 1 was doing anything.
No.
They never actually explained it. He just wanted to take down the government, apparently, but they didn't actually show why or tell us why.
Well, let's go to episode 3 because we have to... No, let me just say one thing to keep us on track. Because we can talk about the episodes, but if you have particular nitpicks that are going to hit with a lot of the episodes, like the map, rather than talking about each one individually... No.
When we get to episode 6, all bets are off. But episode 3 was my favorite of the episodes so far.
Well, that's because 2 interesting characters finally show up.
We are introduced to Kiki and Kotobuki, or Koto for short. I actually like these 2 because they're energetic.
Well, and they play off each other very well.
Yes.
Now, I will go on acting after all the episodes.
They play off each other very well. They're also doing an investigation when we're introduced to them. Mm-hmm. They're actually doing stuff. Somebody had died, and they're actually trying to figure out what happened. This is the only episode that seemed like there was actually a true active investigation happening.
Well, yes.
Because then Reiji comes in though, and they just assume that he's from another department, apparently, because apparently anyone can just walk in and say, "Yo, I'm so and so from this department." Oh, okay, you're from one of our superiors.
Well, one of the challenges,
and they do this weird, salute type thing.
Oh, it's the...
Which apparently the actress for Kotobuki came up herself.
It's very painful if you don't prep in advance. I feel like you need to get all of your limbs loosened up.
But, so, I like the 2 personalities of these 2 characters. I like the jackets they wear, too. The jackets are kind of cool.
Well, and they also do a very good cop, bad cop type of dynamic. Because the one who is the Gavan, Kiki, right?
Yes.
She is, and I say that because their names just kind of blend together for me. But she is like the happiest living thing in the universe.
She can communicate with Emor gears.
Yes.
And apparently she can tell Reiji's a good guy because his Emor gear is happy.
Which doesn't make sense because it's very... But Koto is more serious, logical, almost like kicks ass and then asks questions about what's going on. And you see this a lot during one of their interrogations.
Well, and then, so they discover that somebody might be responsible for this is this rich guy. They go to visit a mansion.
Oh,
he lives in a mansion. He has 5 bodyguards with him. They're interrogating him, and Reiji reveals that the guy had become rich by not so great means, which is typical. Well, suddenly the mansion starts disintegrating. They run out, the mansion disintegrates. Apparently, the 5 guards and the rich guy were the only ones who lived in this mansion because there's nobody else around at all. Nobody else lived in this mansion. There were no servants. There were no whatever. Nobody lived here, just those guys. And the criminal of the week pops out, and his whole reasoning is, you killed my pet during the war that your organization was a part of. That's his whole motivation. His pet died during a war, and he wanted revenge on the one guy because... Okay. I mean, I guess he saw John Wick and was like, I want to do that. Just not anywhere near as cool.
Oh, my
But
God.
he summons his monster. The Emons is just, again, the same monster from the last 2 episodes, but with fins for arms.
Well, yes, it's basically same mold, different. It's kind of, think of Mr. Potato Head, where you have the core body and you can take things off and replace it with other limbs, lips, hat, eyes, feet.
But so we have.
That's what we need to call him, Mr. Potato Head Monster.
I mean, he does look like a potato.
See, and it just works. It writes itself.
So then we get. It turns out that Koto is the Gavan for this universe, Luminous, not Kiki. Even though Kiki seemed to be the more combat-ready person of the duo.
Wait, I thought Koto was the combat-ready and Kiki was...
I meant, yeah, I mixed it up. Kiki is...
This is why, even though they don't look nothing alike, they are wearing 2 diametrically opposed outfits. It's easy to reverse their names.
Kiki is the Gavan. Koto is the more battle-hardened person. So you would think that she was the Gavan when it turns out to be the innocent one.
Now, to be fair, when we get to episode 4, this is kind of... Because this is... where we have Antony, right?
Yes.
So this is kind of like the most creative to me of all of the episodes.
Well, I did like that at the end of the episode.
Oh my God.
What? I'm trying to go over stuff. But I'm trying. I liked at the end when. Let's talk about this. Because we've got a lot to digest.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead and talk. If you want to give more insight on episode 3, do it.
Oh, I don't have anything on episode 3.
Then shut up!
I want to talk about episode 4.
I'm not ready to get to episode 4 yet. I'm still on episode 3.
Well, you've talked too much about episode 3.
No, I haven't. Because I was going to say at the end, because we had earlier when Koto was Kiki, was talking about the multiverses. And then Reiji is just like, okay, bye, I'm going back to my world. And they're like, what does that mean? He didn't even answer any questions.
You are such a dork.
Okay, now we can talk about episode 4.
Really?
Yes, so talk.
Really? We get to talk about another episode?
I talked about episode 3 for like 3 minutes.
It felt like 20.
I don't care. Wait till we get to episode 6. That's going to be 20 minutes.
You see, I almost feel like we need to get episode 6 out of the way so we can talk about other things.
Just go.
Are you sure now? Are you positive?
If you don't move fast, I'm going to go back to episode 3.
Let me get to the episode.
Oh my God, you're not even ready?
I just wanted to get you to move on. Okay, where are the episodes? Talk about episode 4. While I grab things.
Me? You were just complaining that you didn't get to talk about episode 4. You talk about episode 4.
Episode 4. Oh God, you guys probably are like, all right, turn off. But episode 4 is where we get to meet a very odd world that triggers...
No, that's a PS1 game. Abe's Exodus. Abe's Odyssey.
That is different because it triggers me a little bit, as there's all of these bugs hanging around. Not all bugs are evil, mindless creatures that I need to kill instantly upon sight. And thankfully, not all of these creatures on the scene are these ones. Because you had a grasshopper, a lot of grasshoppers, a few beetles, and ants. And it's weird because they're standing next to humans.
Who's they?
The bugs.
Okay.
Really? Go away if you're going to criticize everything I say.
I mean, come on. This is taking like a minute to get through.
But anyway, so we go to this world, and it's really weird. And even Reiji, as he's walking through, is a little off-put. And then he is going to meet the Gavan representative of this world. And he sees this like really like secretarial like
No, he's looking and he hears a deep voice.
Well, yeah, he hears this deep voice and all you see is this
He turns around.
Secretarial lady with glasses, lab coat, whole 9 yards. And she doesn't speak a word. And all she does is point down. And anybody with knowledge sees something pointing down. And you're like, what are we looking at? So she hands him a magnifying glass. And he looks and he sees the ant dude. And it just catches him off guard because she says something as well. And he's like, oh, you sound incredibly different. And then the ant guy keeps on speaking. And you find out in this world that the humans are essentially support mechanisms
for bugs.
And
which bugged you a lot.
Yes, I was going to say this is the most terrifying world for me because I'm like, oh my God, there's so many bugs here. I don't want to be terrified by bugs. But it was pretty cool just because...
Wouldn't it have been funny if the enemy had been bed bugs?
Oh, no. So basically, in this episode, we do find out for the investigation that we're looking for a villain that is building a weapon underground. And come to find out that the person who's pushing this forward is a security guard. Or not a security guard. He's a former employee.
He was a guy that committed... Okay, so the criminal of the week's motivation was a guy who committed a crime and was arrested by Anthony, so he decided to get an Emor gear to get revenge on Anthony.
Oh, yes.
That was the whole purpose of this criminal of the week. Once again, the flimsiest of the flim motivation.
You see, and his name is not actually Anthony. It is, oh God, how do you pronounce his damn name?
Well, Amaris is his Gavan name.
Yes, I was trying to find out what his actual name, character-wise, in the episode was.
Amarillo, or Aramoto.
Amarillo. That's a different animal. And I think it's a city in Texas.
Aramoto, who, if you know Evangelion, he voiced Gendo Ikari in Evangelion.
Yes, and he is, I don't know if he's a dad, but he might be a better dad here than he was there.
All I know is in this show, he sounded like a Japanese Liam Neeson to me.
Oh, yeah, you were saying that the entire time.
I was just picturing that he'd be on the phone. I don't know who you are. I don't know anything about you, but I have a certain set of skills. It may bug you to know this, but I am very skilled. Granted, the puns in this episode, like Silverquill would love all the puns they did in this episode.
So it goes through all of this. Now, once again, and we'll talk a little bit more about this later, we do have a useless mech battle.
Oh, yes, because we get introduced to the auxiliary mech, one of the auxiliary mechs in this episode.
It was a useless mech battle once again. And really, all that I talked about was the only cool stuff about the episode.
Well, so the girl, his assistant, she's the one that actually carries
the henshin device,
the gun. So she pulls it out, and Reiji's like, "Oh, you're this world's Gavan," and she fires it at Anthony, who then transforms into...
But he's still tiny as fuck. I think it would have been kind of cool to have him grow in size. Now, obviously, it wouldn't make sense because none of the Gavans grow in size. But it does give credence to Chicken Head Dude being a spaceship.
Oh, you mean Chicken Boo from Shire.
Yes.
But but yeah, so you have the Gavant. He obviously gets more stronger because he's an. So he's kicking ass, which that was kind of cool. But yeah, then we have, as you said, a mech battle that was pointless. Where are all the ships to justify this mech battle? Like, where are all the Maku ships to have dogfights with?
But you can't have dog fights. You have to have ant fights. Because Gavant, which is an awesome name still because it's just an added letter. It's Gavan Gavant.
No, Maurice.
No, I know he has a different name.
But either way.
But it's fully CGI though. There's no.
Well, obviously it's all CGI for him.
So moving on.
I mean, the episode.
I did enjoy the episode, to be honest.
It wasn't bad. It was not as good as episode 3. It was better than. The problem is that it was just boring again. Well, and then we get to episode 5, which is a return to Bushido's world.
Did we need this return to Bushido's world? Did it help expand the story?
So,
no.
Bushido, if I recall, this episode starts out, Bushido has just finished rounding up some criminals, and his commander, she opens up a Sprite, or no, a 7-Up yours to the criminals. 7-Up yours, basically.
It's actually, yeah, it's like some kind of.
It's a Sprite. It's Sprite 7-Up, but
is it actually? Oh,
it's a generic brand. They said it's a lemon lime soda.
Oh yeah, it did say lemon.
So I'm just saying 7-Up yours because you're in jail now. Haha. But
didn't Phil Lamar do 7-Up commercials back in the day?
Was it Phil Lamar or the guy from Madhouse or Madhouse? Mad
TV. I don't know. I can't remember. I thought it was Phil Lamar.
Was it Phil Lamar? I thought it was the guy from Final Destination 2. Well, whatever. But well, and then so we see this guy is watching them in the background watching Bushido and the commander in the background.
Oh no, it's not. It's Joffrey Hodder in the 70s, Orlando Jones in the 90s. So, damn it.
Orlando Jones. Is he the guy from Final Destination 2?
Well, he's from a shit ton of movies that I've watched, so why did I get that wrong? Damn it!
Oh, Mad TV.
Yes, so you were correct.
Okay, and I guess he's not the Final Destination 2. For some reason, I thought he was in there.
Well, the funniest part of this search, just so you are aware of how lame this is, apparently a lot of people have asked, is Phil Lamar the guy who did the 7-Up commercial? So apparently him and Orlando Jones are just mixed together in everybody's memories, and we all have a Mandela effect.
All right, so
poor Orlando Jones, because he was funny.
Well, and then so we have the Bushido. Now you made me mess up on my flow of the episode. So all of a sudden we see Bushido knocked out.
I'm sorry.
And he's waking up, and there's all these guards knocked out. And we come.
Well, his commander is
missing.
Missing, yes.
But we come to learn that they went to this warehouse where a criminal was apparently taking place. And
a criminal was taking place?
A crime, whatever.
Oh, stop it!
And you're messing up my thought process now because you're interrupting my thought. And they were knocked out. And I'm like, hey, this is a better story than what this episode has been. I want to know more about this event that happened rather than all this other stuff happening.
Well, because it felt like they were trying to put Bushido in a place where he had to decide to either give up being a Gavan in a way.
Okay. Meanwhile, we have Reiji, who, Wanabuchi and Patron have pretty much only been in the episode as like a couple seconds of comic relief to gawk at why, because we see whenever the mech is asked for. They have to give all this approval to launch the mech.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So we see Wanabuchi and Patron constantly just staring like, oh, why is everyone moving around so quickly suddenly? Ugh. Well, in this episode, they see Reiji walking with a ton of paperwork. And they're all like, oh, look, it's records department. Because they don't actually apparently know that the records department is just a front for what they actually do. Well, Wanabuchi tries to trip Reiji. Reiji falls over, trips over him and tries to balance the paperwork. But what they decided to do was turn the paperwork into a Looney Tunes skit.
Yeah.
So instead of him just they turn it into this paper that's going like
very bad CGI.
Yeah, in a horrible CGI. And it was just like, oh my God, did you really just CGI paperwork just to turn it into a Looney Tunes skit?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
Well, also, Reiji has absolutely no purpose in this episode.
No.
Like, honestly, we didn't even need to see him.
No, he does nothing this entire episode except give Bushido his sword because they just happen to hack into the transmission of the commander being captured and other members of the team because they feel they don't like her because she's done such accomplishments. They're like, yeah, well, she can figure it out herself. And so Reiji just shows up out of nowhere to Bushido and hands him his sword because Bushido gets a message saying, you must give me your swords or your commander's gonna... I don't even think there was really an outcome of the commander. If you want the commander back, you need to hand me your sword.
Yeah, it was basically give up being Bushido. Well, they didn't know it like that, but it was give up your swords or the commander just die. Well, I'm saying die.
So then we also cut to the commander who is being interviewed by Edward Elric with the really bad wig that apparently he has living hair, so he's Medusa from the Marvel Universe.
You know, this is why I hated the live-action Full Metal Alchemist movie. It wasn't the worst live-action adaptation I've seen, but the problem is Edward and Alphonse Elric are German. They are actually not Asian. So it would have been an interesting thing to do like Final Wars, where you had some of the cast members being
other countries.
Because it would have fit the dynamic. There are Japanese characters.
Oh my God. Can you imagine though, if because they were desperate to just get anyone, if they got Christoph Waltz to play Edward?
Okay. He would be better as von Hohenheim.
I know, but imagine just
once again, we are so derailing.
Okay,
because
that's why we're losing viewers. But
I thought it was commercials.
Is it? Oh, whatever.
I don't have.
But yeah, so our main villain, he looks like he's cosplaying as Edward Elric, but his hair can hold swords, and he opens up this dimension, Maku space, to show that he's a sword collector. So he's basically Gilgamesh from Fate.
Oh, I should grab my Gilgamesh figure.
And
I have the cat.
And he wants Bushido's swords to be his 999th and 1000th sword. And that's, again, his whole motivation, is just he wants to have his 1,000 swords. And he, of course, has an Imons that he summons, which I don't even remember what. I think it had boxing gloves. Was that the one that had boxing gloves?
I think so.
But either way, it doesn't matter. But Mr. Potato Head comes out, and
see, now you're going with it as well.
And we have this whole fight scene where Bushido hands over his swords, but turns out he uses the sword from Reiji that Reiji gave him. But now we find out in the flashback scene that Reiji gave him the sword, because that was done in a flashback scene. And there's another mech battle, and then they defeat him, and Reiji meets the commander, and then he leaves.
Yeah. And the commander wanted to meet Reiji for some unknown reason.
Well, I think she wants to know how there's another Gavan in the universe.
No, I understand.
At least that's what it seemed like in episode, was it 3 when they showed
Yes.
her? Or the end of 2?
End of 2.
Whatever one it was when she's like...
Oh, no, beginning of 3.
When she says, you need to let me meet.
Yes.
You need to bring in that Gavan.
Because she thinks of him, I always took it that she thought of him as like a criminal.
That he's an imposter.
Yes. Now we get to episode 6.
Hold on. We also still have...
It's a bad episode, but...
Oh, no. Actually, that was episode 4, where we had another Agi anime bit.
Oh, yeah. I've just tuned those out because...
And so I have written down, she has said in 6 of the 7 episodes 5 of the 7 episodes that we've watched, that's how my master built me, or that's how so-and-so built me.
Oh, that's what BM meant?
Yes.
Because I thought you put it for like bowel movement.
No, built me.
I was like, is that how many bowel movements you've had while watching
Because
the
I'm
show?
keeping a record of how many times she says something along the lines of, that's how my master built me, or that's how I was created.
Now, before we go to episode 6, let's look at the comments. You know, the positivity thing.
Have you read YouTube comments? Positivity? That does not match.
There's a lot of hellos.
I know.
Happy Easters. Then the A-Game says, after the last week's episode, they've officially stopped watching the show live. Just feel that I wasn't feeling anything for each episode. Love is the strongest, they say, but Toei or Ishinomori's heart, not even in it. Yeah, I don't like the insert song, which is What's a Hero, or the end song, Love is the Strongest.
There is no...
No, there's an insert song in the show called What's a Hero.
Oh, I haven't even paid attention.
And Star Wars fan says hello, and then Queen Metallia sounds like Queen Metallica. I always thought that too. I know it's supposed to go on this Jewel thing because Queen Beryl is the villain of the first arc, and then you have Kunzite, Jedites, Zoisite, and Malachite?
No, Nephrite.
Nephrite.
Malachite was the original U.S. name for Kunzite.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why they changed his name.
Well, yeah, because Kunzite is a stone as well. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Malachite and Kunzite are both stones. I don't know why they changed him in the dub.
But then again, in the original version, the Japanese version, Zoisite and Kunzite are a couple.
Well, Zoisite was a boy. Was a man.
Oh, yeah, in the Deep version, they gender swapped, even though...
Zoisite, yeah. Zoisite was made a girl. Just like what they did with Fish Eye in
See, I never
Supers.
watched Supers of the Deep dub. I watched only the dub.
Well, they didn't do... It wasn't dubbed by Deep. It was dubbed by Cloverway. Because that's when they had to change Sailor Moon's voice actress.
Oh, yes. Okay. And then Agi is at least kind of cute. No, she's adorable looking. I can't say she... Well, one, I'll say nobody in this show is unattractive. Depending on your flavor.
Even the ant?
It's cute as a CGI ant. It doesn't do anything. I don't think ants... Okay, fine. All the bugs are not attractive, but I mean human characters that are on the good people's side.
I did forget one other thing with episode 3. There was an interrogation with Morrow that led nowhere.
Oh, yeah. Now, I will say nobody is legitimately delicious, in my opinion.
Well, I hope not. They're all like half your age.
Well, not the commander. The commander...
Calm.
But, yeah. And thank you once again for making me feel old. Because there's a few of them that are more than... Like, I'm 3 times the age of a couple of the characters. Quick question. Will you two be saving the Kamen Rider 55th anniversary announcement stuff for whenever you do the next Zets discussion? I think he's going to actually talk about that during your news report.
When the next time I do a news report, I'll be covering those 55th anniversary stuff. Well, the next Kamen Rider stuff, the next Ultraman stuff, the rumors for the next Project Red, the next Power Ranger news, and whatever else is out at that time.
Well, he'll be doing it sooner rather than later. Kiki and Koto are obvious. They're for the school boys to gawk, but I can't take them seriously at all, especially Kiki. No, yes, they are definitely there to attract that teenage male audience or teenage female audience that could look at them as either empowering or sexual figures. Or for the guys that like younger girls.
That's just creepy.
It's a market.
The problem is, though, they are the only ones that have energy in the show.
Well, they are. No, I'll talk about acting in a bit. I heard that Death Gavan is going to be played by Ray from Garo.
He was voiced by Ray. Yep.
But that doesn't make the series good. I will agree with you, Star Wars fan, because having some top tier talent in this show doing different things does not make a show good. You can throw great things at crap. Doesn't make the crap better. Kaiju, are you done with Toku? You seem bored by it all, by Jesse Hood. Now, this is a legitimately good question because I have been asking different semblances of this question as well. Inquiring minds want to know, are you bored with Toku?
I'm not bored with Toku. I'm just bored with this modern stuff.
So, yes, he's bored with Toku.
Because Gavan Infinity is boring, but I love Zets. I've been loving Zets.
Yes, but nobody has seen you talk about Zets, so we're just going to have to do our own video and pick up later with. So now Kubernetes says 2026 lineup is Snoresville. I still miss Gabu. They say live action stunt work, but zero balls.
But well, also we're currently 15 episodes of Nick's C draft. That's been really good for the most part.
Oh yeah, and they have delicious people in there who are actually older than me in all reality, technically.
Yes.
By about 15, 20 years. So
yes.
But Kubernetes, this is something we're going to talk about after we get through all the episodes, but I will agree with you. Live action Toku series right now, they have some killer stunt work when they give their stunt actors stuff to do, but they're not doing anything unique with the prospect of it.
Well, Reishi hasn't done really any of his own stunt work since episode 1.
No.
And it's getting annoying because, nobody is... There's actually a few things to discuss with this. But, Reishi is not doing any of his stunt work because he's barely even doing anything these last few episodes. It's been mostly on the other actors, and they're not even really doing anything.
Well, one thing that I do like that Kubernetes said, because this is something we've talked about, is not sure if it was toned down for iPad kid generation or something. So one of the things that we are seeing for younger Zoomers, and this is not disparaging, but for younger Zoomers and the alpha generation.
I feel like we had this discussion last video for Infinity.
Well, it's still true though. But there are studies coming out that for Gen Alpha and probably soon with Beta, if that's going to be the name, I don't know.
Oh my God.
And
no,
I don't think it is.
No. I'm just thinking like, holy crap, because kids already pulled the whole. I'm the alpha male, and you're the beta male,
which is really sad because most alpha males that claim they're alpha, they're actually pussies. But
no.
Okay. Moving on. No, actually, it's Sigma. I think it's Gen Sigma.
We can't name them. We can't name a generation alpha because of that. and we can't name a generation Beta because of that.
Well, it's Sigma, if I remember.
Okay, but we still can't do
But
Alpha.
can we move on?
No.
All right. But anyways, with Gen A for triggered people and for younger Zoomers, there are a lot of studies more so coming out that they are easily distracted.
But
That there's
Squirrel?
I'm already ADHD. I have to have things distract me, but that's because of my own mental health that I have to have distractions. But I know it does. But you know me. You've known me for over 25 years. It's over 25 years. You knew this about me 25 years ago.
It's not just you. I'm just saying.
Yes, but moving on.
Like when Advent Nebula would be watching a movie that he chose, and he'd be scrolling on his phone like, "Hey guys," in the middle of the movie. Oh, according to this news report, da 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 just happened.
Okay,
like,
moving on.
We're watching the movie.
But there are studies saying that younger generations, those in particular, because they have so many different distractions at their disposal, that television shows now are doing more so of that tell versus show, because of the fact that they need to engage audiences that are not necessarily going to be always watching.
Then don't watch the show if you don't.
But at the same time, it's also helping for those people like me. When I'm cooking, because I love to cook, and I'm preparing ingredients and things like that, I have movies or videos or things playing that I'm engaging in. Like I'll have comedy shows or things like that playing because I can still enjoy it while I'm doing stuff. Whereas him, the only time he picks up a phone is if he's completely toned out. When I know a show is bad, he picks up his phone. Or right.
No. Or there's an actor I really want to, who is like, I know that actor from somewhere. I can't think of where. So I need to know right now and then, because if I don't, I will forget about it later. Those are the only two times.
But, so yes, they are starting to tone down things.
And it drives me nuts. It's like, can't you just have the plot? Like, okay, perfect example. Let's go with Wanabuchi and Patron, even though we're skipping ahead. They have done nothing every episode except be there for a comic relief moment.
Or to be complete douches.
Yes. All of a sudden, in episode 7, there is a scene at the beginning of the episode where Reiji and Daisuke are watching for a criminal, and they go to catch the criminal, and then Wanabuchi and Patron appear like, no, this is our criminal. We're the ones catching him. And they start arguing while the criminal is just standing there like, huh? Well, I forgot about that. Some stuff goes down, which we'll get into when we actually get to the episode. The criminal gets away. They tell Wanabuchi and Patron, Reiji's like, go get them. So they go chase after the criminal. At the end of the episode, that's the last time we see of them until the end of the episode. End of the episode, they've got bandages, there's some bruises of Wanabuchi, and they're like, yeah, we caught our criminal, and that was the end of it. We never actually saw them catch the criminal. We didn't see, it was all just, they told us they caught the criminal, and we have bandages to signify that they went through a rough time. I wanted to see that story. Why didn't we get to see that story?
Because it didn't exist.
All right, more comments.
Okay.
Where are we at?
Okay, so
Yes.
Fan is saying it's not a total loss because of Garo's Sentinel, which I do need to catch up on that.
Yeah, I don't get why Garo was only 8 episodes. That's a mini-series. That's not an actual season.
And VA Games. Another thing I was confused by, the way they promoted Love is the Strongest. They say the theme song, and I was thinking that was the opening. No, it's just a theme song. That is it. Yeah, it's only played really at the closing.
Well, that's the closing song, which okay. I have some mixed thoughts on this. Like, it is a closing song because I am bored out of my mind with this song. This song sucks. This show does not have an opening theme. Now, I'm wondering if this was an idea they had because Kamen Rider has an opening theme, no closing song. They decide to have Gavan have no opening song and only a closing theme.
That's a fair perspective. I hadn't thought like that.
I do think of it that's the reason for it. But one of the things is an opening song can will get you into the mood of the show. So sometimes if you start a show and you're not feeling it, that opening song coming in can boost your energy up.
Well, yes.
I feel like part of the problem with Infinity is because there is no opening song, nothing is there to boost our energy up to actually get engaged into the episode.
That's a fair perspective.
That's part of why I think the show has been also an other BoreFest. One of the factors. There's obviously other factors, but I really feel like this is a major factor, that it's just no opening song means you're sitting there like, okay, oh, okay, oh, okay.
So, going back to the comments, all right, where was I? Let's see.
Something about a wharf opening?
I don't know what wharf means, but hold on.
I just lost the place because it just
Yeah,
jumped to the bottom on me.
All right, then Ultraman Leo, or Theo, will save 2026 Toku. Didn't know theme song meant multiple times other than opening. Yeah, unfortunately, theme songs can be anything that references a show, depending on where it's going to be. Wait, hold on.
What are you looking for? Okay, so
no, hold on. No, go ahead.
Well, we have Star Wars fans said hopefully Ultraman Theo will save 2026 Toku. Then we had the Wharf opening thing. It's a Japanese show after all. I was personally hoping Kiki and Koto would be taking turns to be luminous.
Yes, I actually wondered that too.
Guess we'll see. They both have Pink Ranger energies. Look, big monster, boom, boom, big house. Are you entertained yet? I'm just wondering.
Sorry, there was something that popped up that said Donald Trump died, and I was like, wait, what? I don't believe it's true, though, because I'm not that lucky. But, okay, that sounded terrible. I am very patriotic.
Okay, well, you just get to the comments.
No.
We're on Deny.
Oh.
That says, I just wonder to imagine if Kamen Rider Myth will get 3 different gimmicks, not the same as, like, first horoscope. Okay, so we can talk about Myth later.
Yeah, I don't like Kiki. I wear pajamas to work energy. Okay, so I'm just gonna be very honest. I work from home, so I wear a professional shirt for when I have to be on camera, but I so live in either sweatpants or pajama pants, Monday through Thursday or Fridays, depending, because nobody is going to see. And if I don't have to be on camera, I guarantee you, motherfucker, I wear pajamas to work. So I agree with what you're saying. If you're going to be seen by other human beings, he doesn't count because he's used to this by now, but I can guarantee you half of my team wears pajamas to work.
Star Wars fan, Ultraman triggers you?
Yeah. That was a good fun. I love it. Oddworld, I think also on Xbox.
Yes. Oddworld.
Stranger's
Wrath.
I've only heard Oddworld like once or twice. Shy, nerdy human girl and her no-nonsense ant partner boss. Isn't it cool, Toby-kun? I actually, to be fair, I do like that dynamic. It kind of reminds me of like Starsky and Hutch, that type of thing. Ant-Man Gavan. Are you still?
Yes.
Do you still plan to release Kamen Rider Den-O review? So
yes,
we actually just survived it.
Yes, I just finished all the movies this week.
So I will say, watching some of the things that he's done for Den-O, because for a long time, Den-O was one of my favorite Kamen Riders. Watching some of the episodes with like a clearer perspective of having seen a lot of Kamen Riders since then, it didn't look like it was as horrible as I was fearing watching it with more. But I will say the main actor who went on to do other roles such as
he's an amazing actor.
Kenshin is incredible because he has to play, in my opinion, the most ultimate twink ever. And then everybody else, I was like, wow, how do you not get a multiple personality disorder just from that?
But yes, my Den-O review is going to be hopefully sometime in May.
Oh my God. You should nickname Gavan Hank Pym. The A Game says, episode 4, we get Gavan. Star Wars fan. It actually spelled armadillo. What you said was yellow. Well, no.
I said Amarillo, which is the name of a town.
I thought you said Armadillo first, but Amarillo is a city in Texas or a town.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's Texas. Or is it New Mexico?
No, I think it's Amarillo, Texas.
Okay.
But I could be wrong because I am very wrong when it comes to
Yes, we know. We'll get into the Jiraiya variant. Jiraiya variant later.
Upcoming Gavan Infinity summer movie alongside Kamen Rider Z's before debut of Kamen Rider Myth. And that's from Jules Dedoro. So did I, Jules? Hello, our friends.
I doubt any kids will want an Antion figure.
No, probably. Because if you think about it...
Well, it would just be an accessory that would come with...
Well, and it would still be too big scale-wise to make it work. So, and then Gavan Raya debut episode 10. Then we have, but imagine how much money they'd make if kids keep losing the at Gavan and have to keep on reviving. See, this would be like kids having inadvertent access to their parents' debit or credit card when they ask for it one time on a mobile game and then just keep on buying because the parents never deleted it. Myth Maizu, sure. Might be Mouse, Kamen Rider, or, I think I hate it. Oh,
we'll see how it ends up.
Kamen Rider Kabuto 20th anniversary movie of Kamen Rider Atlas. We have Atlas Zector Kabuto turns as white. Then Kamen Rider 64 says Happy Easter. Because their arc weren't complete in the main story. I will say there is a part of me that is really excited for both Kabuto and Kuga. It is Kuga, right?
Agito.
Because both of them, they were very delicious. But they were awesome series as well. And I'm eager to see more. Denai says, see... Name Writer Myth, do you think about an anniversary season writer find ancient urban myth and legends? Actually, that would be awesome if it was myth and they could play upon urban legends. That would, mainly because I love urban legends, conspiracy theories, all that. And that was the A Games. But if the 20th anniversary film doesn't have the Tendo siblings, I don't want to watch it. Will totally 1,000% agree. Because if you don't have Tendo pointing to the sky, it doesn't work.
My grandma told me that I am here for a cameo. So there, you have my cameo.
The A Game says, one of the things I really don't like with the show, every single episode was basically doing the small transformation playback.
See, that's just paying tribute to the original show, doing that every episode. So it is what it is.
I hated it in the original show too.
But it makes sense why they would do it here.
Jules says, upcoming toys of Gavan Infinity introduce Gavarian Dornado GCR for Gavan Infinity Reiwa, and then introduction of Gavan Raya license and Emor gear.
Okay, so thinking on that subject, another part of what I was going to say, I don't like how every Gavan transforms with the same weapon.
Well,
the same gun, every character.
Well, that's giving me Sentai feels. Because even with Kamen Rider, well, let me just finish my thought. Because with Kamen Rider, while you have some of them, like the only one that was really systematically the same was Gaim, in my opinion. But for every other Kamen Rider series, you typically had unique henshin devices. You maybe had one or two characters that would have the same henshin device, but everybody would have really unique stylings.
But
like in Wizard, you had Wizard had one and Beast had a different
if
one.
they were all the same universe, sure. But these are all multiple universes. Why would every single one have the exact same henshin device with the exact same design and colors?
Because Comb dropped expansion packs in all of the other universes so that they were all systematically the same.
Oh my god, they were all DLC.
Yes. It makes sense because after they created one for the main universe, Alpha Universe, then they dropped expansion DLC of all of the gear that they would need to those respective universes. So it just works. No questions asked. Story over. All right, but I kind of get it. 5 is an auspicious number when said in English.
Go.
Kamen Rider Animated is now developed since we have Tojima wants to be a Kamen Rider in Futo PI. Well, I feel like Toku anime has existed for a while because you have like Love After World Domination, you have Miss Kuraitsu, you have is it Samurai Flamenco or
Samurai Flamenco? You have Shinesman. Mm-hmm. You have, but I think they're talking about Kamen Rider specific.
Oh yeah, but I'm just thinking that Toku related.
Because you also had oh my god, Karas.
Well, you also had Gitorobo,
Sailor Moon.
Well, what's
Shinesman? Go Lion.
The birds.
Gatchaman.
I was hoping you wouldn't say Jetman because I'm like, that's not what I'm talking about. Jetman stole that idea. Not really, but see, that they make a theory of Rider alphabet, but see Kamen Rider myth. I wonder what letter H is for. I wonder. That's actually a cool thing. Has there been like an alphabet theme for the Reiwa era?
I have no idea.
25th anniversary of Kamen Rider Agito, debut of Kamen Rider G6 and G7 suit, the newest enemy, hint on gills, already torn apart. Well, I'd be curious if they could even, well, I don't want to get into that, but there's a lot I want to talk about the Kamen Rider news.
All
right. So apologies for anybody if you've mentioned anything about Kamen Rider. I'm going to skip some of those comments.
Well, let's stop here.
Well, I do want to get to one comment. In celebration of Easter.
You're just trying to lay my episode 6 rant.
Yes. But in celebration of Easter or Easter, because it's actually based on a different pagan holiday, who is your favorite fictional rabbit in all of fiction? So it could be the Trix rabbit, it can be Bugs, it can be Babs Bunny, it can be Buster Bunny. It could be the Velveteen Rabbit, which is pretty dark.
Well, I was actually trying to think if there were any like super murderous bunnies in stuff, but nothing's coming to mind.
Well,
Outside of the one in Silent Hill, but that was just costume. I'll just go with Bugs Bunny.
See, I'm gonna go with kind of Bunny, but not official.
Oh.
I'm gonna go with Serena, not Serena, Usagi.
Oh no, I'll go with Thumper from Bambi.
I'm gonna go with well, actually. So to be fair,
yeah, I'm gonna go. No. Just I'm gonna go with Thumper from Bambi.
That's his favorite character. We actually have his original Thumper stuffed animal. It's so.
But yes, that's what I'm gonna go with.
What is it about Thumper that you like? But
he's impatient.
Well, that's a rabbit. Actually, that makes sense for you. Wow, that really does make sense. Oh my God. Even at that young of an age, you knew how impatient you were. And your parents didn't even catch that as a trigger at that moment in the 80s? Wow.
Well, I think they technically bought me the Thumper plushie because since I came out 5 days early, they thought I was impatient to want to just get out.
That's fair. For me, if I had to choose, it would be Usagi from Sailor Moon, or admittedly Bugs, because I love all of his stories.
All right, so episode 6. We come back to Kiki and Koto's world. We start our episode out with a guy, this rich dude, talking to a phantom thief about my wife and my daughter stole my stuff because he's clearly an abusive father who cares more about his goods than his daughter and wife, and apparently beats the wife from what it was implied.
Oh, he is.
Well, so the phantom thief goes out to find them. These two girls, are the mother and the daughter, are trying to get away, and they bump into Koto and Kiki. Or no, Koto and Kiki are riding a bike, I think it was, and the daughter pushes Koto off the bike.
I think so, yeah.
She doesn't bump into the bike like they thought. She intentionally pushed her off the bike.
Well,
because later in an episode, she pushed the guy, which also showed. So it was like, wait, okay, that was not an accident earlier in the episode. That was on purpose. So Koto and Kiki decide they're going to.
Fade is the thief's name.
They're going to escort them to the ship they're supposed to go to, and they go to this. They end up going to this site when there's a phantom thief. Yeah, Fade appears, and stuff occurs. It turns out that there was an Emor gear in the father's jewelry box, which causes all the construction workers around to go crazy. And for Mr. Potato Head to appear. Reiji, I forget why Reiji even showed up. I think he showed up before this happened, but I don't remember the exact...
Yeah, he was absolutely useless.
I don't remember the exact reason why. But anyway, so the daughter runs and goes into the shuttle. The shuttle gets blasted off a cliff and falls onto the cliff below. Well, so they summon Gavarian to come down. They summon a crane auxiliary mech to come in, who helps Gavarian ride down the cliff to where the shuttle is. Gavarian then pulls out a rope, wraps the ship up with the rope, and he then pulls the crane's hook to the ship so they could pull it up, and it doesn't work because the crane's not strong enough, and I think something was breaking. So Gavarian has to come back up, have the crane attached to its arm to go down and pull the ship up.
So, just so you're aware, when we watched this episode, and then after, when we had taken a walk for my health and all of that stuff, all I got the opportunity to listen to is him waxing poetic, which is justifiable, of the fact that a mech, which has the ability to move around,
has hands, picks the ship up to put it back down to why didn't, first of all, the mech
can
can
you
fly.
not break my
Gavan
laptop,
can
please,
fly.
with your jiggling?
Why didn't he just go down, fly back up with the shuttle? Okay, he can't fly all the time. Fine, whatever, we could go with that. Grab the shuttle, grab the crane hook, and be pulled all the way back up. Why did we have this pointless drama of him wrapping the shuttle up, not being able to pull the shuttle up, having to go back up to get a crane arm to then pull the shuttle up when he could have just picked the damn shuttle up? He picked the shuttle up to wrap the rope around the shuttle. Why couldn't he just pick the shuttle up and take it to the top? It's not like there was explosives or anything inside the shuttle. It just does not make any sense. It was a forced drama that was there because they had nothing better to do. That they just created this falsified crap to extend the episode for an additional 5 minutes with this drama that didn't even matter in the long run. Now, I did like that Luminous and Koto were piloting the mechs at this time instead of Reijin. That was kind of funny. But it was all this forced drama that was utterly pointless.
Mood.
And then we have our Phantom Thief who, well, doesn't actually do much of anything. The father doesn't actually get, really? The father doesn't actually get any consequences for being an abusive piece of shit. He just gets his jewels back. Which,
no, he doesn't.
Well, he loses the one jewel, but he's still rich. He's still breathing. And
okay, abusive husbands typically don't get their comeuppance.
Well, he should have. This is a TV show.
I was raised in an abusive
He's
household.
dead now. Therefore, he got his comeuppance.
Not for any other reason than slowly killing himself.
He's still dead. But anyway, so I'm like, oh my god, what are we doing here? Why are we doing this? Why is the mech not just? It was that Metalder episode all over again, where Metalder has a flying car, but instead of taking the guy that needs to go to the hospital in the flying car to flying through the forest to get to the hospital, they're like, we gotta quickly get a car that can go to the hospital to get an ambulance to bring the guy to get the guy to take him to the hospital. It's like, but you have a flying car.
Okay, moving on. Let's go to episode 7.
No, I'm not done yet. Because one thing, if you have not noticed in this show,
is that he's crazy? Yes.
There are practically no civilians anywhere living in this show. Except for in the first episode, which the plot of there's aliens living amongst people has done absolutely nothing so far. Mm-hmm. And episode 6 at the end, when the mother and daughter are at this food cart or coffee food truck, you see 2 people sitting at a table in the background and then 2 people walking to the food truck. That's the only time you've seen any other civilians around in this show.
It doesn't bode well. It's not like you're supposed to have other actors or background characters all the time. But sometimes when you're trying to make a world feel populated and a world feel like there's a risk, it would be nice to feel like there's people at risk.
Yeah, there's no cars on the road. There's no cars driving around in the background. Like episode 2, the scene when they were driving the criminal to the prison, there wasn't actually like anything on the road civilian wise. It's like where do people even live on the earths? Or are they all just soldiers or construction workers that are there to get attacked?
So can we move on to episode 7 now?
No,
Why not?
because yes.
Really?
Okay, so episode 7. We already talked about the thing with Wanabuchi and Patron, who I also should mention, they are totally wasting his voice actor. Patron is voiced by Takahito Koyasu, who is Zex in Gundam Wing, and in many other anime series.
Well, they wasted Zex.
This is his first time doing an actual Toku series for Toei, and they are completely wasting him.
Oh, it is his first time for Toei?
Yep. From what I was reading, this is the first time he did any Toku for Toei.
So this is the episode that debuts the Gavarian rifle, the Arc Gavarian, and our, like, really introduces
Mad Gallant. Oh, sorry, wrong show.
Black Gavan.
Gavan Death.
Well, it says Black Gavan.
It's Gavan Death.
Well, then why does this say Black Gavan?
I don't know, but it's Gavan Death.
But nonetheless, we get what I'm assuming is our main villain? Question mark, question mark, question mark? But...
Okay, so... I mean, basically, okay, Mad Gallant is the main villain of Just Beyond, and that's all Gavan Death makes me think of. Just not as cool.
Now... It doesn't, like, what I get is, one, you find out a little bit more about Reiji's backstory and why his Emor gear
is anger.
Is anger where
Bushido was sadness.
Because he's not a real boy.
And
obviously...
I don't remember the other two.
Well, Kiki's is happy.
Was it happy?
Yeah, and I have to look up Gavan's.
But so after they catch this criminal in the middle of the city where there's nobody around apparently.
Well, it's a Sunday. Isn't that Dragon Ball logic? Thank God nobody died. It's a Sunday.
Too bad nobody died. It was Sunday. But Gavan Death appears. Frees the criminal. That's how the criminal gets away. So the criminal runs off. Daisuke gets horribly injured, on the brink of death, as it seems, as they play it off as. Wanabuchi and Patron are not sure what to do. Reiji says, "I'm Gavan, so you go after him. I'll take care of this." So they go after the criminal to have our little exposition scene at the end. Reiji then goes after Gavan Death, and we start getting some flashbacks that Reiji's mentor was putting Reiji up to be the candidate to be the successor to Gavan Destiny, who was the current Gavan saving the world. Well, Gavan Destiny apparently disappeared or went mad, killed Reiji's mentor, and that's what fueled Reiji's Imagir into being anger, was the anger of losing his mentor. So I guess Gavan Death isn't the mentor based on how this episode was played out.
I'm assuming he's the Destiny dude.
What? Death is Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
So
which kind of makes sense because Death is in
whoever is the Destiny Gavan has killed, because I thought it was going to turn out that Reiji's mentor was Death.
No, I kind of thought that's a red herring.
So they have this they have this chase scene where they're leaping across buildings that I don't.
Bad CGI.
I don't even understand the point of the leapings across the buildings thing, but whatever.
That's
So
an anime trope.
then they get into a mech battle with each other because Gavan Death has a totally repaint version of the mech, but with a different head and something, and it's all a giant CGI battle. There is no actual practical suit for this battle, which means that Gavan Death's mech is not going to get used that often. Because now I've realized that, come to notice that if there's a CGI mech, it's a mech that will only be used maybe 2-3 times. Whereas if it's an actual main mech, it will be a suit. But they fight and Death disappears. And it's revealed, though, that Death has been the one giving the Emor gears to the various universes.
Yes. So that's why I still believe that Comb is the one who's giving everybody the DLC packs. And the reason why everybody gets the Emor gears is because of Death. So between two of them, they're always getting free loot.
But
free loot! That's what I need.
Now, here's the thing. I can't say I'm going to complain about them not giving Reiji's backstory until episode 7. We didn't actually get Gavan's backstory until episode 11 in the original show. Mm-hmm. The teens is usually when the older series would fully go into the personal histories of the space sheriff. Obviously, with Den, we knew his basic origin from Gavan's last few episodes.
Well, yeah.
But, so I can't complain about that. But the fact that Reiji has barely had a presence in the last several episodes is where my problem lies.
Okay, so I want to talk about 2 things since we've caught up on the episodes. First, I want to talk about the mechs, or the mech battle. So, when thinking about the original Metal Heroes universe, especially when you think about Space Sheriff, is their mechs were not used regularly. And when I say mechs, they were more of either a gun or something to help.
Well, they had a ship mode that did most of the fighting,
yes.
And then usually the mech appeared to make the final attack.
Yes. And so the mechs weren't used as an important plot device, if at all. And
they really were just the toy sale.
Yes. And so I feel like their reliance on having Mr. Potato Head monsters and, in a way, a Mr. Potato Head mech is, once again, for toy sales. But unlike the original Metal Heroes shows, where they didn't make it a plot device, it was more or less just to have it there because they needed to fulfill Bandai's requirements when airing the show for toy sales. Here, it almost feels like Bandai is saying, you need to plug these toys as much as possible. And so I expect Bandai, we get some credit when you do come out with an actual Mr. Potato Head version in Japan. Because we called it, it's ours, locked up, all sealed up. But in all honesty, I feel that utilizing these mechs in any which way that they do is really showcasing the reliance of still having some sort of Super Sentai element in Project Red. Now, the next tokenomics episode that I'm going to be doing, just as a quick plug, you'll see something different first.
Video games. It's a special episode.
Well, yeah, but the next tokenomics that's on Toku is actually going to be going through the business plan and strategy of Project Red, of what I've been able to gather. But with that in mind, I feel as though one of the things that they're doing that's a challenge here is they're relying on nostalgia and trying not to lose those people who really enjoyed Super Sentai. So they're trying to throw as many Super Sentai elements as they can so that people feel like, while this is different, it's still kind of the same.
But it's not different. That's the problem. The problem, Gavan Infinity is the safest safe that ever saved. If Toei had to use ink ribbons when writing this show,
like in Resident Evil,
they would have already used up their entire ink ribbon supply. That is how safe these first 7 episodes have been. There is nothing unique about them. There is nothing risk adverse. It's
risk adverse, not risk.
Yeah, risk averse. There is nothing in here that says this is the start of a brand new franchise. We are totally going all out, no holds bar, on wanting to launch something entirely new. Everything is played to the safest ability possible. Nothing is extraordinary. So at the end of our episode, of course, we find out Daisuke did not die that day. He's just in a wheelchair right now.
Yeah, his mentor is not. Oh no, his mentor is dead. Daisuke is still alive, which I kind of figured would be the case because typically they don't kill people.
Here's another thing that also I'm thinking of before I go back on the whole safe thing. I'm confused on one thing. Daisuke they mentioned to Daisuke, oh, well, you couldn't become Gavan because you couldn't traverse the multiverse.
He does traverse the
multiverse. That's what I'm saying. The ship goes to the alternate Earth, so how could Daisuke not traverse the multiverse? I'm just not understanding that aspect. Like, what do they mean by that? That doesn't make any sense. He's clearly gone to the multiverse with everyone. So, what?
Now, the second topic I want to talk about, because this goes part and parcel with the safety of this series, so to speak, and that is the acting. So when you have something incredibly safe, that means that you're also not gonna bring in the strongest talent. Now, is not to say that all the actors and actresses in the show are terrible, but when you think about the Gavans, outside of Gavans, the human Gavans, the first thing I said to him when watching Bushido's episode when he is found out to be a robot, I was like, oh, so now they have an excuse for his robotic acting. And because when I saw him introduced, his acting was very bland and unemotional. Now, he may have been coached to do that. There's a lot of reasons why that can happen. But if his Emor gear is crying in sadness,
it's crying in pain for his bad acting.
Well, and this is the thing. Is he an inherently awful actor? I have no fucking clue. Because he spent the entirety of his career as a model. Now, I'm not going to shit on models and say they can't become good actors, because there are some who have done great jobs in acting. But the challenge is, if this is his best, so to speak, or if this is the shot he was given, either the director has not given Bushido's actor a lot of instruction of how to go, or he just doesn't know what to do. So his acting is incredibly robotic or wooden. Now, Reiji's acting, he's okay. The reason I say that is because there is not much for the actor to work with. We don't get to see, outside of a little bit on his backstory, a wide range of emotions, except for he's happy-go-lucky and he believes in friendship like Yu-Gi-Oh. But we're not given a lot to know who he is as an actor.
That's because he's barely even been in his own show.
Now, the only two people who seem like they're giving it their all, and this could be based on their training, it could be based on their age of just being that youthfulness, is Kiki and Koto's actresses. Now, one thing I will criticize as a fear point for either of them is the reason why they seem like they're so close as characters is because during the audition process, they became friends. So that kind of works in their favor, since as characters, they have to be very close as well. The problem with that is, are they able to act so well because they're playing off of each other? Or are they acting so well because they're legitimately good actors? It's not fair to say that they're not good just because they're acting so well and they're friends because of it. But it does make you wonder how this is going to improve the quality of the show. Now, in my perspective, if you are launching a new world, a new franchise, whatever you're going to call this, you want to put not necessarily your strongest cast, but you want to put some heavy hitters and have a balance where you have some really good heavy hitters, people who are known on television for other things, or even tokusatsu itself. And then you want to bring in the newbies to help make that blend to give it some legitimacy. Right now, Project Red is not giving me the legitimacy for Gavan Infinity. I honestly feel that they put in people who are not terrible, and then they put a couple of really good voice actors in for different characters. And it's not to say that all the other actors haven't done anything. I'm not going to look them all up, but right now I can't say they've done a lot. Maybe some of the older actors have there on screen. But outside of Comb, most of the people are under 25s.
Except Reiji as well.
How old is Reiji?
He's 28. Because they want because he's the same age as Oba.
Oh, yes. But many of them are super hella young. Like Kiki and Koto's actresses are
19 and 18.
Yep. And then you have Bushido's actor who's like 23, I think.
I think he was 23, maybe 24.
But they're all fairly young. And that's obviously not a critique, because Toku is supposed to be a feeder show for people to go elsewhere. However, the original Space Sheriff series, outside of Subaraya and Shider, is also supposed to be a feeder type program for your stunt actors. For your stunt actors to get actual on-screen time visually, not in costume. And Metal Heroes was supposed to do something dynamic that Sentai wasn't doing at that time, and Kamen Rider wasn't around. And that was to showcase creative choreography, both out of costume and in costume. Was Gavan, the original Gavan, was that the most compelling storytelling of all humanity? Oh, God, no. Their stories were just as bland as anything. But
they had Oba really giving his all.
Well, I was going to say, Oba, he's not the greatest actor either. I am not claiming that Oba was an incredible actor. I've seen all of his stuff. The one thing he has going for him is his chutzpah, his eagerness, his charisma and love for what he does.
That and you could tell he really was giving the show his all.
Oh, absolutely. I never once thought he was phoning in, even though I pick on Birdie, Mimi, who I hate her as a character. She took feminism back like 30 years. But...
And then Annie forwarded another 20.
Oh, thank God. Annie is my hero. But even though I hate Mimi as a character, you could tell there was some really bad purpose for it all. Whereas here, I don't feel, one, that Reiji's actor is giving it his all. I even if he's only on screen for a moment, it does not feel like he's giving it
sometimes
his
it
all.
feels like he's just reading the script.
It doesn't feel like anybody on the show it doesn't feel that way. Now, is it true? I have no idea. And we'll never know if it's true. But prospectively, it doesn't. And that's my hard part about the show.
I will say the only people I've seen truly, truly giving it their all have been Maru's actor and Fade.
Oh, yeah. Fade, even though Kiki and Koto, they have some capabilities, Fade in that episode ran literal circles acting wise
around everybody
around everyone, even the mother. And it was like,
speaking of which, what was up with those glasses that were just like whoop, whoop.
Oh, I hated those
like
glasses.
Or were those even supposed to be glasses?
I have no idea. I thought they were stupid. I was like, how do you see out of them? And I know there are like funky glasses out there because I even see them when I go looking for new lenses. But Fade's actor, he was putting everything into it. And it was almost like, this is my audition to get other work. And that's sometimes what I expect of newer actors going into it.
Well, it must have worked because apparently Fade's coming back in another episode.
Well, and that's the thing. That's like Stacy's actor. Stacy, he actually wasn't supposed to have a legitimate role in the show, but he did so well in his audition, they're like, fuck it, we're going to create a role for you. And you can tell he gave it his all in Zenkaiger because of the fact that it was, one, a thank you to the team for giving him an opportunity, and two, to say, I want future. So that's the biggest thing I would say that makes it hard for this role. I am not expecting everyone to give it their all, but I would like to at least pretend.
Well, and the other hard part is, for me, if it wasn't called Gavan, I wouldn't care. There is nothing in here that makes me care about it, anything beyond the name.
Mm-hmm.
As we said, the fight scenes have not been all that great. There's been cool fight moments, but the fight choreography has not been what episode 1 was.
No.
The lack of any type of true villains has hurt the show. Like, where are the Maku? Are there even Maku? As I said earlier in this stream, is it going to turn out that the Maku is just the name of the space and that's it? There is no actual organization called Maku? Because we have never seen any actual leaders of Maku. We don't know if there is an actual Dan Horror. Which there is a comment that I saw something, the next comment, that Jules is thinking that we'll see a Dan Horror and a Sandarva in the next half of the show. But the show, and if it wasn't doing it for the review purposes, I would not be watching this show. So I'm only watching because it's Gavan and I'm reviewing it. Now, I will say that if this show does not improve in the next remaining episodes, I will not come back for Project Red Up Series 2.
Well, so one of the things is I have to look in to see where the actual viewing range of Gavan Infinity is. Like, is it actually getting new audiences? Is it losing
We
audiences?
won't know ratings until the summertime.
I know.
And by then, because apparently Gavan Infinity ends July 26th.
Well, okay. So going to some of the comments here. Russell, hello, Russell, is saying that he enjoys Zets, knowing it's not perfect. Then Kuberdete saying Retsu and Geki should show up, even if it's just in suit. So Retsu's actor, Kenji Oba.
He's been in and out of the hospital recently.
So I don't know if he is physically able to show up himself, but I agree. If there's a way to bring the original suit into the show, even if it's voiced by somebody else just because of health, or having Geki from Charavan.
No, Geki is the new Gavan from the new movie.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, it's not Geki. But yeah,
You're thinking of Den.
Yeah, Den. Having Geki show, I think, would be great.
Although, I would love to have Den in the show so it can be like, you're Gavan, but you're red? What?
And then Jewel says the MV drama co-produced the lead actors from Winspector and Soul Brain for Mobile Night Police. Oh.
Yeah, that's a music video, like Toku music video or something.
You can get toku'd out at times. I do. Russell says this. Oh, absolutely. We all go through times of loving something and then...
The Goji Shay says hello.
Hi, Goji. Mike, hello. Watching American Gladiators at a family member's house. See, whenever I had Easter at family members' houses, we would end up watching like wrestling. I don't know what it was, but we'd watch wrestling.
Goji Shay is asking about Q&A.
We should.
I just haven't been in the mood to do a Q&A these last few months, which is why I haven't done one. I have thought about possibly doing one soon. I just don't know when. The
challenge, admittedly, for real life, is we've had a lot going on family-wise. His dad passed away.
Richard died.
Yeah, there's been a lot of deaths. And then for me, if you hear my voice starting to go hoarse, there's going to come a time where I'm not going to be able to speak anymore for this episode. But I have 3 nodules on my thyroid. Have to go in for a biopsy. Well, tomorrow is a consultation for it. So there's that fear.
Biopsy. There should be no reason to do
a
consultation when your doctor already consulted you.
I know. But going through that, so there is a 30% chance that I could have cancer.
You said 20.
Well, online from looking at
I don't.
Okay, so the doctor said 20%. Online says 30%.
Yeah, don't go with online.
But still, there's a good amount. So there's been a lot going on. So wanting to do a live stream has been a little hard. Like this, I'm happy we did this, but maybe we can get him in doing a Q&A. I can just go out and you can have the place to yourself.
Whatever. But there'll be a Q&A soon. We're also going to Denver in 2 weeks for the weekend, where we obviously had MegaCon last month. So we've just had a lot going on. But I will get to a Q&A soon.
Then the mark in his chest is a meteor. He beats down the enemies proudly with his jet. From the land of light, for the sake of us, here comes...
Oh, that's for Ultraman Theo, I would assume.
Mike's shared that. And then Jules says Gavan Infinity, first project, had summer movie. Since the 1984 Scheider, owned 2 films. 2015 Scheider, Next Generation, had Showa and Heisei Metal Heroes. And yeah, we had this discussion of modern shows dumbed down for the mouth breathers on purpose. Oh my God.
We used that terminology last time too.
This is a weird question, but what will happen if Gavan Infinity will bring back OG Retsu Ichijoji? Well,
that's what we were just following with Oba.
And then Toku is on TV regularly for me. I am less likely bored of the stuff from the 70s to 90s, even early 2000s. So, yeah, I will say in our household, we watch a lot of Toku. not just for what we do here, but also because we do legitimately enjoy it. But I also have horror movies playing quite frequently. But yeah, I'm gonna save my voice if you want to continue, and you can unplug it.
All right. Let's see where. Unless it's a Kubernetes says Ultraman BOREDOM. Jules. Kamen Riders, that's a movie coming out. Yep, we saw that. Let's see what else. How about Ultraman Theo's look? Well, there hasn't been an official picture of Theo yet, just an AI generated one based on a possible toy. But it makes me think of what's his name? Hikari, Ultraman Hikari. That's who I thought of for it. Let's see. Mobile Leslie says that Zets is a lot better than Infinity. Definitely agree. I only hope that the 2027 lineup is actually fun, and Myth is a dark and fun show like Gav. Commodore 64 is currently at Anime Boston.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Have fun.
Have not been to Anime Boston before.
Well, we'll have to try it at some point. I haven't been to Massachusetts.
No, the second Project Red series is not rumored to be B-Fighter. It's rumored to be a rescue hero show. And the suit is going to be maybe a firefighter design. Comparing Zets with Gavan isn't real competition. Zets wins by a landslide.
Yeah. That is true.
Why does every modern Sentai rider show have to have cast dancing over its end credits? Because that's just how it is.
Well, I think it's because a lot of idols in Japan do a lot of pop stuff or dancing.
Well, so usually the theory is for Japanese shows, the opening song is what gets you energized for the show. The ending song is what takes away that energy. And sometimes when you have,
I feel that's terrible, but I know
that's how the thought process goes. So having a dancing at the end theme also removes that excess energy you obtained from the show, and you're moving it on to when the next episode begins the next week.
That's it. It's crazy, but that's a good point.
Well, that's how they view it.
Japanese are weird.
Let's see. Suad Alf Happy didn't like Gav, but they've been loving Zets.
And what's the name?
Suad Ali Happy? Alf Happy?
Saad Ali?
Is that what it is?
I would assume from some people.
Your phone makes it look like it's an F, not an I. Yes. Suad Ali Happy.
Hello.
Hello. All right, let's see. Kabanate hates Deno.
Oh,
Yudis Kanhikido. I thought Ryotaro's actor was a lousy one until I realized watching outtakes that he wasn't being possessed by the Imagine for real. One thing I did see that Kamen Rider Global's account was promoting the Zets and Gavan Infinity summer movie. I'm assuming that means we'll get the movies. I don't know why they would do the Infinity movie in America, but not the series.
Well, yeah.
Maybe it's because they have to do the movies as a double bill because of how it works in Japan or something. But we'll find out. Now, whether or not it means they'll just be streaming the movies in America as like a pay-to-stream thing, or if you can actually go to the theater to see them, are two different
Well, I think it would be cool to have it in theaters, but I know it would be a limited theater run.
Right. And who knows these days what theaters would actually be showing it. Let's see. Let's go. By 70s and 80s Kamen Rider timeline says Kamen Riders are urban legends. Game Project Henshin looks like a Kamen Rider video game coming back.
is it going to be a story based? Is it going to be
Who knows?
fighting?
Which are you guys more familiar with? Characters from Sega or characters from Nintendo or characters from Capcom?
Yes.
I was going to say yes. I know them
I
all.
will, to be fair, I probably know more of, if I had to rank them, it would be Nintendo, Sega, and Capcom, like 1, 2, and 3 as they were read out. But I know a lot of the unique characters from all 3.
I would say it would go Capcom first, Nintendo, then Sega for me. Even though...
Well, that's because you're more of a Capcom person.
Well, yeah, Mega Man and Resident Evil, Strider, Dino Crisis.
Where's Spyro from?
Spyro was Activision.
Oh.
Where was I? Oh, yes. Man, I'm just like trying to read these in my brain, just like, reading is hard. Bugs, what about Lola Bunny?
Now, to be fair, I have never seen Space Jam, and I think that's where she was introduced. And I think I've only seen
I don't know.
1 or 2 cartoons with her of modern.
I've only known Lola Bunny from, the commercials with Space Jam and stuff.
So it's hard for me to speak to Lola.
I don't even know. I don't actually know Lola Bunny other than she's a porn version of Bugs Bunny.
Well, I know the song Lola, but that has nothing to do with her.
The Toei guy at the presentation said that Myth's logo is a hint to the theme of the series, which they're thinking, Udis is thinking is a puzzle piece.
Well, I was thinking based on what you said of it sounded like mouse.
Well, some people for some reason think it looks like Swiss cheese and the little circular loops in it are holes.
Well, one of the things I was taking, even with Myth and putting the cheese with it, is wondering if it's actually like children's stories.
Okay, because flying down and grabbing the shuttle would be too easy. A classical case of toy department too desperate to sell a gimmick. Thank you. Someone else knows. It was a forced drama.
Well, forced gimmick, yeah.
It's a really weak crane to carry that ship. And that ship looks like it's the most common there is in the series universe. Gavan Infinity amazingly had reference to the iconic laser blade from Bavarian blade, similar to Don Brothers' head finishing move, is epic. The finisher, Zanglass Sword, Ninjark Sword, and Zenkai Zanglass Sword.
Well, you keep on picking that he has the Don Brothers sword.
I agree, it's a desperate move to sell the toy. I hate the Jewel episode as well. The tension comes from the mom and daughter being terrible at communication. It sounds terrible messages to kids to be bad at speaking and should just throw a temper tantrum.
Well, I thought that's what kids do today. That's all I ever see in toy stores or toy aisles.
Kids giving a tantrum and the parents just giving into them. Now,
to be fair, I am not a parent, clearly. I just have an adult child, but you're my husband.
But you're not transparent. So you're not clear.
But I don't have children, so I don't know the hardships of raising another literal human being from birth to adulthood. But I would say I don't have the patience for it.
But yeah, so Space Sheriffs, the auxiliary mechs include a tank, jet, bike, and drill, which are similar to the original ships or vehicles that Gavan had.
Stupid. It's still stupid.
Let's see. There's a Gojuj or Boomunjer comment, which I'm going to avoid because I have not watched that movie yet. So far, I like the original Gavan more. You can argue the formula is predictable, but at least all the Gavan arsenal were cool. Don't forget Dio. Oh, yeah. What's his name? Koyasu's Dio in JoJo's.
Oh, yeah. I love Dio.
Another great talent wasted on this series. Gavan Infinity would remind me of Final Fantasy XV's world. It's empty.
Okay. Yes, I will agree. But that makes sense for FF15 because it's kind of like post-apocalyptic, I feel, in a way. But, yes.
Project Red should be called Project Dud.
Still love Final Fantasy 15. Except for the fishing. I hate fishing in video games. I make him do all the fishing for me.
Crystal Mecca, hello, says
I thought you said crystal meth for a second.
No, Crystal Mecca says they liked episodes 7 and 8. The show's not that bad. No, the show's not like horrible, not unwatchable. It's just boring.
Well, and everybody's going to experience something different. So this is just our opinion. But
Udis likes the actor who plays Reiji's mentor. He looked familiar.
He did.
I have to look him up. Gavan Death looks different from Mad Gallant because looks different from Mad Gallant because different version of the black combat suit. Even Mad Gallant has mask. See, I just see. I know that their suits are different, but that's all Gavan Death makes me think of. Hey Kaiju, this is Ben Goldman.
Hi Ben.
Hello. Hey Kaiju, are you going to do more Kamen Rider reviews for the 50th anniversary? Deno, Decade, Double, O's, Forze, Wizard, Guy and Bill, Geo, Saber, Revi, Scotchard, and Gav?
Yes.
Yes, yes, no, or yes, yes, maybe, no, 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 no.
Are you in History of the World in the Roman Empire?
Yes, no, no, no,
I was
yes,
going to
no.
say, you know what she was saying yes or no about, right?
But I am doing more Kamen Rider reviews. I will just finish Deno, so that will be coming in the next month. I am planning to do Decade this year. I've been kind of thinking if I want to do Double, but probably none of the others unless they get legally licensed.
He says that
now. No, I'm not burning myself out like I did with Sentai.
I'm not saying burn yourself out.
Because I also want to tackle other shows.
He wants to tackle the animation part of Toku and Animation News Network.
Well, I want to do more Ninja Turtles. I want to do Kikaider. I want to do VR Troopers.
I also want him to watch Devilman, the original Devilman, so he can do a review on that.
I'm not reviewing Devilman.
Yes, you are.
Reiji, despite using rage emo gear, almost is never angry, just a happy pent-up Japanese salaryman. Bad characterization, yet accurate portrayal of IGU Japanese man to this day and age. Gavan Death was identity named Gavan Destiny. His combat suit already destroyed, and suit was usable, turned Evo emo gear. Art Gavarian looks like Ava 01 color motif.
Oh yeah, I never thought about that.
Gavan Infinity has only one monster, and it's the same in all episodes.
That's why it says Mr. Potato Head.
Yes, we've called him that now. Gotchard, upcoming Gotchard driver, new Gotchard cards from the novel, and a new Kamen Rider revised novel coming out.
Oh,
Janet
so there's light novels of the
Janet suits don't make sense to me, according to the show's logic on the suit, but the rule kind of cool, I guess. Well, I mean, it is right, because usually when the suit's damaged and they untransform and retransform, the suit's been repaired.
Well, I always feel like it goes into like this nano space where these nano machines
in Dynaman, I think it was. In Dynaman, they actually did show the doctor repairing the suits when they got damaged.
But what if they go out of costume in one fight where they got some damage, and like 10 minutes later, where nothing could have been repaired?
You just go with it. Where was I? Oh yeah, damaged suits.
Oh, I have my little.
Yeah, Hiroshi Watari is Sharavan and Spielban. Kiki and Coco was happiness Emor gear, like friendship.
Friendship is magic.
Oba does so little and Kill Bill, but at least he's there. Takumi Tsutsui and Kenji Oba are the same suit for Jiraiya. Even Gavan Raya gave oh yeah, so if you did not see, we do have another Gavan announced for the show, which is a purple and gold version of Jiraiya. His name is Gavan Raya, or G Raya, because we don't have enough characters introduced. I saw one YouTuber, Dawson Rider, was asking about what about the Gavans that we saw in the beginning of episode 1, the two that were in the distance, the purple and like bronze ones.
Oh, yeah.
Are they going to actually be characters, or are they just stand in for Gavans that will be showing up in the series? And I said, I'm betting Toei doesn't even know who they are right now.
Never thought of it like that. That's actually terrifying.
All right, just for timing reasons, I am going to move quicker for some of these. If Gavan Infinity was adapted as VR Troopers, what would you call it? VR Troopers Multi-Squad. Uniforce.
Ooh, I like that. Uniforce. Or it could just be VR Uniforce rather than VR Troopers Uniforce.
Yep. VR Uniforce. Someone said that Saudi Ali just made fighting words. Low from him. When will we review Hokkaido, Gridman, and re-review Kamen Rider Black? I have no idea. Well, I don't even own Hokkaido, so won't happen anytime soon.
I thought we had Hokkaido.
Hokkaido, not Hokkaido. Hokkaido is the 90s edgelord movie on the character Hokkaido, who's the evil Hokkaido, which this movie was also done by Amamiya.
I'm so confused.
I wouldn't do a re-review for Kamen Rider Black. I would just do an updated version like I did with RX. Deno 20th. Here comes a new challenger. Shout should release Blue Machine Man and Bicrosser on Blu-ray. Machine Man's actually one of the other series I've been considering on watching to review. Oh, I'm actually at the end of the comments. I just like darker, moodier Kamen Rider shows.
Same.
Zet's getting mild lately. I'd say Zets is getting really intense lately. There's a rumor of Miss Gimmick being not cheese or anything mouse related, but eggs. Yeah, you heard that right. Eggs. Excellent.
So is it going to be very protein and calcium enriched?
Well, they made all kids fat with Gav, with the snacks. Now they need to get them on a diet with Myth.
Well, I wondered about that. I'm like, how much did that increase? Like,
have you lost interest in Sentai? No, it's just I am very well. I mean, Sentai the last decade has not been the greatest. So,
well, some of them have been great, but not all of them.
So I felt Sentai should have ended years ago. Oh, I'm sorry, hiatus years ago. Let's see, for Tokunomics, maybe talk about this. See if there's a thing on how much CGI costs.
Yeah, I could do that.
And maybe on the costs or reasons for reduced bike action.
Can you take a screenshot of that? Because once it goes off the live, I don't see it anymore.
That's from Russian Wanderer.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm always open to looking at new ideas.
Myth gimmick is eggs. What? Dude lay eggs in his butt and cracks and it cooks and oh my god, and then it can be an Emor gear where it poops.
Well, here's the weird thing. I don't think he could because it's only females who lay eggs. So it'd have to be a female main rider. That would be kind of cool. They'd never do it, but it'd be kind of cool.
Thoughts on the Kamen Rider 55 presentation? I just saw it. I mean, it looks cool. Let's just see what comes out of it.
I will say, I want him to do like a full video on it, but I'm excited for all the different things they're trying because Kamen Rider, I feel,
okay.
I want it to be more adult oriented nonetheless.
All right, but the
did you get something in your eye again?
Yes, which seems to be happening a lot in these last few weeks. I don't know why, but anyway, yeah. So Gavan right now, I'm just not all that impressed with. For being the new franchise, as I said, is just playing everything safe. there's just a lot of things missing. Like, I saw somebody made a comment yesterday. I think it was on Twitter. He said, "Well, Infinity's being made on a budget of 3 cents." I said, "Yeah, well, if that's the case, someone's pocketing 2 of them." Because it's just, it is the cheapest brand new franchise I have ever seen. Usually, when you launch a new franchise, you want to have it the biggest, flashiest thing imaginable. Here, it's like it's on autopilot. Just, yeah, we have this new franchise. Here you go. If it does well, we'll release it in America. Now, for toys, apparently for the merchandise, kids aren't buying the roleplay items. They're buying the Emor gears, especially the ones in the Gashapon machines.
Well, that's because Gashapons are like gambling. So.
The adults seem to be the ones more into the roleplay items, and it's been adults who are like, "Oh, I grew up on Gavan. Let me buy this new item." So it's been older adults who grew up on Gavan that are buying the Gavan roleplay items, and the kids are buying the Emor gears. Apparently, the rest, and it's more in the bigger cities that Gavan's seeing more sales compared to the more rural areas. Rural areas are not seeing sales. They're not even getting many pre-orders for the Gavan merchandise.
It could just be interest levels and the like.
Well, that Toei's not doing anything to push the show.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how things go. I don't know when we'll watch more episodes. It's going to be a while. I kind of was hoping episode 8 was going to be subbed before we did this live stream, so we could have just covered the first 8, but it wasn't. But it wasn't even written by Tomioka, so it doesn't cover. It's not a story-based episode anyway. From what I've seen for feedback, so it is what it is. We'll eventually have another live stream at some point when we watch another batch of episodes.
Oh, and the A games? No, I was thinking if they went the chicken route with the myth, that it would be
the chicken and the egg.
Yeah, but mice don't lay eggs. They do live births, but it would still be really cool if we could have a main female writer. Just saying. It'd be really cool. I don't think it'll ever happen, but
that's what a special's for.
See, that's not fair. It shouldn't be regulated to a special.
Well, that's what a special is for.
Well, okay, Mr. Misogynist.
I'm just going by Japanese standards. Okay, anyway, that's all we've really got for this round. I'm also getting hungry. So let us know in the comments if you watch this through the comment or later what your feelings are on Infinity. Do you have high hopes for the show? Have you given up on the show? What do you think about some of the things we touched upon with like the Galvarian being not able to pick up a simple shuttle and flying it off, or the lack of civilians?
Or Mr. Potato Head.
Mr. Potato Head, Reiji barely being even in his own show. Let us know in the comments, which character would you like to know the full story behind? And click like, subscribe, the bell notification, whatever else YouTube has you clicking in support. You can support us on Patreon and on Bluesky at tokuaannetwork, Network, Facebook, Instagram, Discord at Kaiju no Kami. The website is creativitybydesign.com or creativitybydesignllc.com. There's also a link in the description below with a GoFundMe for health purposes, which will now include her stuff. And until next time, bye.
Bye,
everyone. Where is all the icons to end the chat and everything?
Maybe, is it to the left?
You don't have access to this feature. What? Okay, so how do I end the stream? It's actually not letting me. Oh, end stream's over here now. Okay.
Bye, everyone.
End.